All right, we're going to take a look at the Unit 5 Beer's Law PhET simulation. You can do this on your iPad. If you Google PhET simulations and then go to this HTML5 sims, you can get to the one that works on your iPad. So again, the Beer's Law is, if you want to run it on your computer, you can do it via this one right here. Or again, going to this one, this will work on your computer or your iPad. So I'm going to click on Beer's Law Lab. And then we're going to click on Beer's Law. Okay, so we've got this light source here, and this tells us what wavelength of light is being emitted. Notice that this little meter here is telling us the transmittance and absorbance, so you can change between those two measurements. If we hit variable wavelength, you can see that we're changing the wavelength of the light. So we know that the wavelength corresponds with the frequency and therefore the energy of the light. And down here we can select which type of solution we have. So later on in the worksheet you're going to be asked to, the very last question, compare your absorbance sketch to somebody else's. And in my sample I have the cobalt nitrate done. So if you want to not do that yourself, you can look at mine as a comparison if you pick something else. Okay, so you can make the container larger or smaller this way as well, and again change concentration. So you're supposed to fiddle around with this for a while, see what changing the colors do to the transmittance and absorbance. For Beer's Law, really we're using absorbance data, so you want to pay attention to that, especially in the questions you're answering. And again, work around, just fiddle around with this, make some observations, and then you're making some predictions and then measuring some data yourself. So when you actually get to the back of this worksheet, again, I chose cobalt nitrate. Notice the preset default wavelength is 549, so every different solution has a different default wavelength. So that's one of the questions you're answering, is why do they have the default wavelength that they have? But anyway, going back to cobalt nitrate, so you are supposed to choose a solution and set concentration and path length. So anyway, we're just going to leave it as is like this. And we're going to take some data, choose a solution and set concentration. Keep these settings constant and graph the absorbance of 8 different wavelengths. So we're going to hit the variable. So we'll make note that 549 gives us this, so this wavelength gives us this absorbance, and then we're going to measure some other values. So I want to do a range. So I'm going to move this down to 428 nanometers, record my transmittance, and keep changing it over a range, recording the values. And I'm going to see my data. There's what I got when I recorded. And there you go. So you can take a look at that to compare what I got to what you got and to answer your final question.